YouTube. So today is another How Do Lolita video. And I'm going to be starting off the coordinate series with Gothic Lolita, which I am wearing today as I had a presentation for Dante's Divine Comedy, specifically the Inferno. I'll do a little coordinate rundown first so you guys can see what I'm wearing. The blouse is by Infanta. It doesn't really have a name. I got it off of My Lolita Dress. And it's a very, very lovely blouse. I would very much recommend it for bittersweet Lolitas, as well as Gothic Lolitas. And my skirt is Judgment Day by Surface Spell. I recently got this one in my box opening video. It's very lovely. If you can see, it's got lovely embroidered cross with roses and 2 angels. It's very plain at the back. But it does have this very lovely ribbon. I do enjoy the corset waist. It has a zipper. As for shoes, these are tights from Charlotte Rouge. And my shoes are from Forever 21. So this is my coordinate, and I'll explain how I matched everything so you can understand for part 1 of how to cord Gothic Lolita. So for Gothic Lolitas, let me just tilt that back down. As I said before, there are motifs in the fashion specifically for Gothic Lolita, and some of them being churches and cathedrals as well as other Christian motifs. And typically black, though white is doable. And so I mostly paired everything based off of black. So if you notice, my blouse is a slightly different shade than my velvet skirt. That's fine. As long as I fit with the aesthetic feel of the outfit, so the skirt is fine. Like, I'll explain a no-no for this. So seeing by what type of skirt I'm wearing, it's all black with the red embroidery, it would be a bad choice to wear something like this, which is also by Infanta. It is another chiffon blouse. It's very classic and sweet, though it could be paired with Gothic. But why this won't match is because it would add another color. It would be adding another color to an already color schemed and complicated mood of the skirt. It wouldn't go. The plain black blouse goes very well and complements the dress with the skirt because it's velvet as well as embroidered and has a very large motif. And so, this blouse, not this cord. When it comes to skirts in general, I find them very difficult. I had trouble pairing this. Actually, I got kind of worried if it matched or not, but it does. I'm sure it does. The notes I got on Tumblr say it does. So, skirts, the thing I would have to say, it's mainly the blouse that can really throw it off. You could wear a short sleeve blouse, but it can't be something incredibly over the top or OTT sweet, which makes sense, right? Like, you can't have a bunch of bows and ribbons and stuff. You want to keep it kind of simple with something with lace, maybe a collar like this, or maybe one that's more tight fitting and higher up. But something that's sort of neutral and the chaos going around on the skirt. That makes sense. Let's go on to the next part. Alright, so JSKs. My example for this one, I'm going to be using Merrymaking in the Ghost Town. Alright, there are many different ways you can cord a JSK, which makes them highly versatile, and the general understanding that I get from a lot of Lolitas is everyone loves JSKs. Because they're amazing, but you can cord them so many different ways depending on your blouses and accessories. Whereas in OP, you're restricted to one dress, and with a skirt, you have to make sure everything's right. Right. You still have to make sure everything's perfect with the JSK, but you get more leeway. In fact, it covers most of your blouse, so if you have an issue with a button, as I do, I had to safety pin it here, you could not do that here, and you could just cover it up because, voila. I hope that made sense. So, anyway, Merrymaking in the Ghost Town. There are different ways you can cord this. You could have a black blouse underneath it to highlight the black and just let the skirt and overall print of the dress stand out. Or, as I've been thinking, you can pull it out with you can pop the star color with a white blouse. Seeing as there are gold and white stars on this, bringing in another color that's already on the skirt is perfectly fine here. I've seen it done a lot of times with dark dresses, and it looks wonderful. For shoes and whatnot, I would say go with something very plain. A black shoe would be perfectly fine here. Do not go with a white shoe, since you're already popping something out of it. You would just be overkilling it. Just go with something simple. Though I have seen it done where the tights are very interesting. You can go with many harajuku styled things for tights, such as scold tights and or just plain tights, or knitted tights, as in like sweater tights, the ones that are really thick that have a nice intricate pattern on them. That's what I typically wear with Gothic Lolita because it keeps my legs warm and overall my body warm. And it looks cute. Not just having like a nylon tight. So, JSKs, a lot of leeway. When I get to accessories, I'll show you how to add more things to it to make it more for you. Make it more over the top in a muted way, if that makes sense. JSK, try popping color out with the light blouse, or keep it muted and let the dress stand for itself with the black blouse. Now, OPs are for me the easiest, mainly because you let the dress say what it wants to say. My example here would be this is Rose Churches by Infanta. If you've been on my Tumblr, you've seen me wear this. It's also very popular. It's very simple but very, very elegant, the chiffon. And the way I've corded it is with knitted tights and black shoes, like black heels, because with Gothic Lolita, it's better to have that sort of more mature look. So, mostly with OPs, let it stand for itself. You can accessorize in ways that will make it very amazing. And that's what I'm going to get to now. So, just going to go backwards with this. So, how to make this dress amazing? Well, let's start off with things that happen under the dress, like your petticoat and your bloomers. Me personally, my bloomers are very untraditional. I have lace bloomers, which I use in and out of Lolita as just shorts. You may want to wear bloomers depending on the length of your skirt and if it will make you feel more comfortable. So bloomers may be a must-have. I'll talk more about this in my Lolita video about it, so you'll see that soon eventually, and I'll probably link it to this video. After that, it comes the petticoat. So what sort of petticoat would you typically wear with Gothic Lolita? Probably something A-line. I currently am wearing an A-line petticoat because that's what this skirt allows for. But this one, oddly enough, is bell-shaped. And so therefore you need a bell-shaped petticoat. It's not going to be completely over the top, but it's very reminiscent of Victorian attire in how it sort of flounces outwards. Especially with how it picks up the skirt. It just wouldn't have the same feel if it was A-line. So now that you have everything up to the dress, right, what to add to it? Well, there are many different options for accessorizing. It's not going to be over the top sweet, as it's not Sweet Lolita, and it's not going to be too muted because you want to show your style. Well, if you have the bonnet, as I do, you would, let me get it for you. If you have the bonnet like I do, you have your hair taken care of because you have a bonnet, and you can wear your hair in a ponytail or have it loose in the bonnet. And for any other hairstyle that's more mature, I would say, than Sweet Lolita, because it's not Sweet Lolita. And then, or you can simply wear the brush in your hair, because I am doing similarly today with my cord. I have, you can see, I have these little roses pinned to my ponytail, which just adds a little bit of decoration to my coordinate. So, what if you don't have the bonnet? What do? Well, there are many hair accessories that you can substitute with, such as, if I can find them, my favorites for when I didn't own head bows, these simple little bows, these, you know, the ones you see when you're a kid and they flop at the back of your head. So here's a blue one that you can easily pair with it, or if you just want to go for something darker, here's a black one. You could probably get these at antique shops or just make them. They're either really nice chiffon or it's really pretty fabric. Nice intricate little design of a rose on it. So you can go with that. And if you don't want to do that, you could just do the little rose thing that I did. Or if you have a head bow, you could decide to wear a head bow. It's a plain black one. It just has like a slight sense of elegance. Now, with that taken care of, what about rings? Well, for Gothic Lolita, personally, I find it very difficult to cord with rings and whatnot, because sometimes they take up too much space and they just don't look right. So for me personally, I like to just have something very simple, one ring or none, and just adds a little touch. And for necklaces, you can go with anything. It's really up to you. A long black pearl necklace, or a ankh, a choker of any kind, anything of the sort, as long as it pertains to the motif on the whatever the print is that you're wearing or attempting to coordinate. Alright, so what do you wear if it's kind of cold out and you just want something covering your shoulders, but you don't want to wear a big hefty coat? My suggestion? Something like this. This is a cape from Infanta. It is very cute. It has a little detachable bow here in front of the sailor buttons. Very lovely. Works with bittersweet and gothic. And on the back, it has a little bat. I wore this today actually for a little bit because it was rather chilly and needed just something more. I've also worn this with Infanta's Rose Churches, and I probably will wear it with merrymaking in the ghost town. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this coordinate video, and if you need any help, just feel free to ask.